Hello and welcome to Satisfactory. Day 20 is my 20th stream of Satisfactory. Feels like in the last few episodes I've not made. I'm just checking all the levels and stuff. Everything seems to be working. Seems like in the last few episodes I haven't really made that much progress, really. I mean, we're sort of stalled on... Well, the game's already running because I was just trying to set up for what I want to do this episode, which is go and start a factory over in the grassland. But it's... Oh, nearly fell off then. Pressed the wrong key. Yeah, it's because, I mean, basically, the last milestone in this technology tier is... You know, it's done apart from computers, and we've got this one machine chugging away on computers, and it's doing quite well. I have played during the week, so I've been basically, I went out and explored the grassland and put the main things down. I was then going to start going around and doing, you know, quartz and limestone and stuff, but I didn't get that far. Oh, and sulfur and caterium and those sorts of things. And basically, yeah, I want to go out, you know, over to the grassland, because a nice big area is, you know, for building a factory, and then probably hook it up with a train to bring all the stuff over. The question is what I actually build over there, because there's nice amounts of copper and iron and stuff, but copper we're not particularly low on. You know, we're not lacking copper products. In fact, they're used in very little, which is a bit surprising if I'm honest. But we're not particularly lacking them. Iron, we are lacking the products. A lot of that is because what I've done isn't very efficient over here. But obviously we aren't really tapping these iron resources, just the local ones. So we could get quite a lot of basic materials made over there. The issue is going to be power, and power is the next thing I get with this milestone, in that I'll then unlock the oil power, which will let me properly do... Obviously, all my plastics is being made and rubber is being made over here. But once we get the proper thing to burn, you know, oil products, basically, but you know, burn excess oil, that will make that a lot more efficient, and I can expand that a bit. And then things like this, because this is struggling for two things. Computers struggling for... Oh, I'm trapped on there. There we go. It's struggling for plastic, which, as you see, is a little bit of a trickle, and screws. So we can make lots more like screws and stuff over in the grassland, and then I can play about with trains, get them over here. We won't get that far this episode, but this stream. But basically, we're not actually that far off getting the 100 because of the time I've spent messing around putting the beacons down. It's just been running, chugging away, making some computers. So we're... What's that? We got I got 2 down on the bottom as well. So we only need 24 more computers, but that'll take probably all, you know, all stream, because yeah, well, as you heard, it's shutting down because it's not getting the stuff it needs. So yeah, so what I'm thinking is it's like a factory over in the grassland to maybe make like screws or something, but we kind of probably need to set up some, you know, concrete production over there so that I can build more easily, and we'll probably need a bit of, you know, iron plate and that. Steel might be trickier. There is coal over there, just not very well easily positioned. It's sort of over here. In fact, I thought there was another coal. There's a coal like on this promontory, which I died. I wasted 20 minutes because I died like trying to mark some of these and get to this coal over here. But I thought there was some on the side there as well. So we might be able to make steel basically, but we're not. I don't know that we're really struggling for steel. It's basically, it's like screws are the key thing that we seem to need a million billion of. So yeah, so I've basically been stocking up, getting the stuff to go and make a factory over in the grassland. And there's a load of, you know, I've got a load of stuff in the exploder as well. So yeah, was there anything else I wanted to do or show over here? I mean, so basically we've got like 2 computers there. So we should be able to finish this and then I'm hoping things will check up, because the other problem I'm going to have with making a factory in the grassland is I don't know if I've got the power to run an entire factory. You know, we do have some headroom, in that, you know, this is the consumption, but it's because it's mostly sat here doing nothing, and when another factory kicks in, it could easily, you know, I don't know why that production is bumping up and down. I guess that's some problem I've got over in the power thing where it's not quite getting water, maybe. Anyway, so I'll head back over to the grassland, and we'll get cracking with that. So I should really find a nice place to do some concrete first, so that we got a local production, because that's the sort of heaviest thing when you're making, you know, the panels and stuff. I can also play about with. I unlocked some of these new floor things last time, you know, with the hub. So I could maybe give some of them a go, see if I can build something a bit more swanky or sort of easier to... Oh! I appear to have managed to fall over. There's all of the physics on the vehicles. Yeah, I'm kind of doing this mostly, I'll be honest, in order to try out trains. So I'm most interested in giving trains a go. And I kind of figure, well, we might as well, because they need a load of computers as well. So we might as well... There's still this issue that all these bugs are accumulating as every time I drive past. There's some over here as well where it's doing it. Because it clearly spawns them in as you drive past. A bit like them, they just spawned in now. But it's not deleting them for some reason in that particular area. And oh, here you go, here's another load of them. It's remembering them, which it doesn't normally do. Which suggests there's a bug with the bugs. Oh, in the coal here. I'm sure there's meant to be a bit of coal in this area here, and I thought I marked it. Because there's some spiders, I think. Hang on, let's get out and check. Coal. If it'll show me. The weird randomness it does with scanning is a bit strange. So it's got some... I bet that's the one I've marked, is it? Yes, there's ones I've marked over there. I thought there was some in there. Never mind. So we're not really lacking steel. And if I can get like oil up and running and that's, you know, reasonably efficient, then you know, reasonably power producing, then that might be the way to go, rather than sort of burn it all. At the coal, that is. Which way am I going here? That way. I did also manage to fall down a gigantic ravine into some kind of cave system that I didn't know was there. And driving out, turned out there was a bunch of poison things in there. Oh, what's this? Is this limestone? Don't see any beasties. What is you? You are limestone. Is there anything hanging around that might want to bop me? No, doesn't look like it. So plop that down. This might be a good one to use for, you know, making the concrete to build the new factory. There is one quite close to some nice iron though. And then let's pop a power pole in. So, yeah, because we've got 2 then, you see. This is like 3 patches, I think, of iron, something like that. Right. Ooh, silent vehicle again. Oh, going the wrong way. There we go. So I'm thinking, you see, we can put the factory in here, basically, because we've got... Oh, is it spawned? I don't know what the rules are on if you've got structures down, you know, the things spawn or not. Because obviously I've been here and put these down. And is that going to stop it spawning anything else or not? I'm not sure. But yeah, so we got iron. Iron. I mean, they're impure, so as I understand it, that reduces the amount of... Oh, it's you. Amount of stuff you get out of them. But there's 4 of them, you know. Oh. And then there's some iron over there as well. So, we've got lots and lots of iron here. Which, I say, I figure we might as well use to build a factory. And I say, that should allow everything, while I'm building that, and say, we'll do screws for definite. And then I can try and set up a train to move screws back and forth. But we've got a bit of iron here, limestone here, and that's normal. Now we do have copper around the corner. So this is one of the starting areas, so I know it fairly well from having played here. But we've got copper around the corner here, you see. But we don't really need that, I don't think. And then we've got iron, you know, more, let's not jump off too far off the cliff. We've got iron over here. You see, I think these are iron. Iron. Again, it's impure in iron. Is that it? Yeah, so these are the closest one. But then we've got more here and over here. So I'm thinking we set up a, you know, a sort of a mini production facility to build iron. Now I'm not going to power it. That's the thing, because according to what it said on the description of the trains, power is transferred via trains. So what I'm hoping is that, you know, when I go back, probably after this session, or maybe at the end, and there's all the things for to finish off the power. You know, the oil power, and I've got some computers then to make some trains. I can use the trains to bring the power up, because we can take the trains, as way how I'm figuring it, is we take the train along the coast, basically. It's a nice, easy building area. Obviously, I'm going to have to deal with all those bugs and stuff, but nice, easy building area. And hopefully that route we just came up, which is fairly smooth, we can come across there, and so our factory's sort of here somewhere. And probably possibly one here, or, you know, because that's quite... I seem to remember there's poison there. So really, because this is the other thing, I need explosives to get rid of all that. But yeah, there's no poison here at all. So we can build this factory in this nice little sort of valley bit, and hopefully hook the train up somehow and bring the power over. Because obviously, if we're going to do oil power, I'm probably going to build it here, where I've got the oil production. So I can hook that in and get more power and send it over and blah, blah, blah. So that's the theory. What I'm thinking is I might try and use some of my other bits, as I say. Like, for example, we've got these pillars. And it'd be quite cool, I think. And we've also got, like, the frame foundations, and we've obviously now got glass. So I thought these were unlocked, but, you know, via research. But so it turns out they're all in the hub. I've got all sorts of different ramps and all sorts, really. So, I say, I can have a bit of a play about with some of this new stuff. So what I'm thinking, I say, we try and maybe use these pillars to, like, elevate it, and kind of avoid too many clipping issues. Not that the clipping bothers me too much, but you know. So maybe if we put one of those down, and then we have a pillar middle. Now, do I have to then have a pillar? I don't know that I have to do anything, but pillar top. And can I then build on top of that? So can I build, a flat foundation on top? Looks like it. Okay. So, does it need to be that high? Maybe. Can I jump across there? Yeah. Now, do I have any more interesting floor stuff? I mean, I could obviously use the glass. There's that, but that's kind of big. I'm not keen on that. No, we'll just go with a regular floor, I guess. Obviously, with it being let's call it a Fallout style building system, that one pillar will support the entire structure, but we might as well, make it look a bit prettier, sort of thing. So what I could probably do is do it in reverse, maybe. So plot that underneath, and that one there. Yeah, that's cool. The question here then is about access. Do I want ramps, or I would rather use the ladders, if I'm honest. Or maybe the stairs. Would that work? Can I attach that sort of here? Or does that have to go on a... Okay. How might I do that then? So, how can I cheat that system, basically? Maybe if I put the foundation there, can I put the stairs... Organisation stairs. Can I put stairs underneath it? No. But I might be able to do walls instead. So we get rid of that. So build some walls down. Okay, sort of. Now, will you let me build stairs? So, organisation, stairs left. No, it looks like those need to be on a flat platform. Okay. So, put one there. Then we can get some stairs. Yeah. Oh, these are a bit painful to work with, aren't they? Like that. And where does that put me? That puts me slightly too high, which is a bit weird. Okay. Why would that be misaligned? I guess because the wall isn't a match. So doesn't that... Oh, it's... Yeah, okay. Okay. So maybe if I flip that round. Let's do that then. So if this is... Oh, I think this may break my brain. So if that was like that... And then this go... Oh! This goes there. Does that connect? Not really. Why does that not match? That doesn't match because this wall is not... Okay. The wall needs to be on that bit. Right. Okay. 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 Right, so we want the wall again. That one. So, maybe if I do that, let me put one on the bottom. Really? No? Oh, you're painful, aren't you? Why are you not letting me clip to the bottom of the wall? There. No, that's wrong. Maybe if I do that. No? Okay. You're just generally not going to play ball, aren't you? Right. Okay. So we want that. What are you doing? Walls. Wall. Oh, I guess because it's not... This won't even let me clip underneath it at all now. What is going on? No, you're just not gonna... Maybe if I do it from here? No. Oh. Then maybe if I take that out. Right. Get rid of them. Put one of them in. No. Oh. You're not clipping. Why is it not attaching to there? Maybe if I just do that. No, 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 yeah. That wanted to be there, didn't it? Dear me. I should be able to take that out. I can't even remember which blooming stairs it was. That one, was it? And then... that. And then there's a gap. Brilliant. Why is there a gap? I guess the idea would be you would... Okay. So make... So if I do this going up, this is proving quite painful. So if I do that there, that there, and now I can't access that. Brilliant. Not walls, foundations. We do say, just chuck a ramp in. Let's go old school. Hurrah! Wow, that was painful. So the idea would be, I guess, how does that line up with that? So we put a few of them in. Oh, am I in the way? No, like that. Right. And then we box this in, maybe. Dear me. Say box it in. Do I want doors or anything, maybe? Let's just box it in for the time being. Oh, maybe with windows, actually. Windows? I thought they were windows. Those are conveyors. Oh, these are the windows. They're all identical, aren't they? I don't know what they look like. What do they look like? Like that? No? What? Oops. So that won't clip on there. Oh, bleeding Ada. Why is that? Why you make so difficult? Whoops. Spat me out then. Right, let's put a wall here. Which way round is more attractive? That way or that way? That way, probably. So put some walls there. Now, can I attach this to here? Yep. Yes. Is there glass in the wall? There is. Right. So you can avoid falling through. Right. Now, can I connect? Yes. So this was all I was trying to do, game. No, you're not going to let me. Oh, there we go. So all I was trying to do was build. All I was trying to do. No. Dear me. No, on there. All I was trying to do. Right, so we got sort of a staircasey, towery thing. Let's build a bunch of these. Right. Now, however, on this side, what we actually need is a door, isn't it? So, have I got a door? Right door? Right door wall? Perfect. As they say, effect. Now we probably want a wall here, but a regular one. You can do that. There. But that's the wrong way around, isn't it? No, that's fine. I might as well have a door here as well. Which would be, I guess, left, because... Are those the... Oh, I can't tell. Right, let's have a ramp. So we can get in on both sides. Bosh, bosh, bosh. Ramp. Door. Door. Ramp. Ramp. Stairs. 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 Awesome. Awesome, but a bit painful. Right. Because the stairs need to be like double height. It's like, well, the things need to be like, it needs to be two sets of walls, basically. So I'm going to put them in. Was it 2 or was it 3? It depends on what actual thing you're making. Production, because these lads, it's even taller. But these lads, which I think is where we're going to max out. Oh, actually we need 3 by the looks of things. Maybe it's the smelters, there are only 2. Oh dear. Yeah, this needs to be 3, doesn't it? Okay. I'm just going to stick these in because I got a bit fed up there, if I'm totally honest. Getting that to work. So we'll just do these as boring walls, and at some point I will do, you know, glass and stuff, but I'm not sure I can be bothered to sort of make this pretty. We can now use the the holes to put the conveyors in. That's pretty damn convenient. But say for now we'll just sort of chuck this in. Oh, I should go and I should go and make. Oh, I can't make a concrete factory, can I, until I bring power over? Huh. Okay. Unless I do like a biomass burner or something, just to run that. Yeah. Okay. Let's do that. So we're gonna need a few construction things anyway. Production. Let's build a craft bench. And we want to make... Oh, this is the wrong one, isn't it? I need the... Yes, the other one. I need the equipment workbench. Because I need... 2 of these. So that I could make a Mach2 miner. Oh, I need to get rid of this, don't I? I forgot it about the rock. I forgot it about the rock. Right. Now, why not 2? Let's plop it going, say, this away. And then that just wants to feed into, is it a constructor? Because it's just the one. I'll feed it directly in. So we might as well use top tip belt. I've got loads of steel stuff. And a container. Organization container. Oh. And well, I might as well just stick that in. Oh. That's terribly positioned, is it not? And control. You're not giving me any. Oh, there you go. Right, so put that on there. So these two need. Do you mind? These two need power. So we can just quickly build a. I don't need them to run mega fast. It's just for when I run out. Yeah, they can slowly chunk away in the background effectively. So we build a biomass burner. I think one will do. I'll have to go and collect a load of blooming trees and stuff, but oh, I didn't set your recipe. You need to do concrete. So you're going to need 4 megawatts, and you're going to need 12 megawatts. So 16, yeah, so it can produce 30. Yeah, so it will run. The question is, do I run a... Let's have a quick look, see. I'll just go and... So I'll grab a load of organic... Oh, I didn't bring the blooming chainsaw, did I? In fact, I forgot all about the chainsaw. I'll grab some of you. There's a load of plants and stuff around here. That. See, tons of plants basically. Let's say I should have brought the chainsaw, that was dumb. In fact, I should have brought some fuel. I suppose if this doesn't work out, I could... There's loads of coal in the exploder, so I could stick... Oh, I haven't got any water, have I? Although there's water nearby, I think. There's a little lake, isn't there? Yeah, there's a little lake there. But I say, I think that's where some poison is. Let's grab these as well. I seem to recall having my very first death off of that thing there, because the tried to run away from the beastie and shot off the cliff. I say, I don't think it spawns them once you've put some kind of structure in. Oh, there you go, it's poison over there, you see. Yeah. I'm not fully sure on the rules of that. What we got? So I'm going to grab these as well. Biomass. I'm going to need a bit. probably going to be easier to make an actual machine to make them. So we need a bit to be able to chuck it in. But if we build a constructor, chuck it here, like so. Can I also connect to this? Yeah, like that. We can set this making biomass. How much does it take? It's only 4. Okay. We chuck the leaves in. And we could also convert. Yeah, let's just do that for the time being. We'll chuck this in. And that'll make a load of biomass. Chunk away on it. Because we can also do the leaves and the wood. And then we can convert the biomass into the biofuel. Now, where were we? Where were we? Where were we? Let's go up here and up here. So that's level 1. And level 2 is going to need to be foundations. That level, I think. Oh, don't tell me the walls don't match up. The floor, you know, the blooming stairs don't match up. Because what I'm anticipating having in here is smelters and constructors mostly. So let's flip that around. Let's have a look at the height. Up here. Okay. And then you better match up or I'm going to be very angry. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. So it would be this level here, basically. So we want foundations. Your foundations. Over here. I think I've gone too far, haven't I? So I'm thinking of having one of these, basically. So I wonder have I got anything that's just like an open gate wall? There we go. Cool. Hopefully I won't get stuck on that too often. Oh look, there's a dogger. This is starting to look more like an actual factory, which I'm pleased with. So I'm going to do one of these at each corner at the least. We'll probably do tubes as well, once all the power's available. But I'm not going to build, because that was so painful. I'm not going to do that again. But yeah, I will build one of those at each corner. Perfect off-stream job, I think. Now, the question really is how many levels I want to put in. Because 2... So this is... That's level 2, basically. So effectively this would be something else. Because I'm pretty sure I can... It kind of depends how I want to do it. Because obviously there's, you know, screws are made out of rods. So I could do literally iron smelting on the bottom row, iron rods on the second row, screws on the third row. Slightly more organisationally complex, obviously, but you know, all this factory I'm intending to do is to build screws. What was that? Or, you know, if I'm just making, because that would also give me the option of overproducing rods and having rods available. The other option is I make, you know, I turn every rod into a screw and it's all on the same level. What are you grumbling about? Hmm. I like these windows. I don't know how... Oh. Sort of computationally complex that is. I don't know, it's a massive drain on resources. I'm not massively keen on this giant hole. I wonder if there is something I can do about that. Because that strikes me as an accident waiting to happen, to be honest with you. Right, so let's put one of these gables in here, because this is the level. And then I'm putting the windows in there. And there. Yeah, so that looks like quite a long way to drop that. I could always put one of them spongy things in, couldn't I, at the bottom, if I do fall down. It's an idea. Right, so this would then be the third optional level. I quite like the idea of overproducing the screws and doing it that way. I might have like a little production of iron plates here as well, because you know, obviously they're used for quite a lot of the facilities. But yeah, let's work on level 1 to start with. So that's level 2, isn't it? Not quite there. Right. Okay. What I'm sort of envisaging is something that's actually sort of open-ended. You know, that I don't finish the final, you know, end of, oops, until I've, you know, kind of made all of the iron plate, all the screws that I want. But also, we've got a nice end point there, haven't we? Because that's big factory. And that's the sort of scale I think my main factory is. Oh, something's grunting. Oh, you coming for a chat, are you, lads? No, okay. Question here. So I had that lined up on the edge, didn't I? So really, I should do that like that. I can always, I mean, you know, these are not, you know, say, it's not, the foundations aren't really doing anything. The entire factory could just float and it wouldn't collapse. But yeah, so my idea is I have another stairs here, which is say I won't put in. And then we have stairs on either corner, wherever those end up being. You could have one maybe halfway along if it's very long. And I say I want to put windows in it. We need to get the resources in through the sides, I think. But yeah, that's the concept. So have you made all sorts of biomass? You have. So let's grab that. And then we want to select the recipe for wood and stick that in. How are you doing with fuel? Yeah, got still loads left. Right. Yes. Okay. But yeah, I should really measure out how big it needs to be. You know, how many smelters and all that sort of stuff I can support. I say what I'll do instead is I'll leave it all sort of open-ended and kind of fix that off stream or between streams. So we'll just chuck in all this stuff that we can. So if we just do it to there rather than there for the time being, I think. How far can I go this way? Right, so we would clip into the scenery here. So we need to be a bit further this way. To avoid that, maybe here? Ooh, that's not very nice. So I think it's actually there, isn't it? Bum. Okay, so let's get rid of all of these. I don't mind it having dog legs in it and stuff like that, you know. We can dog leg round so we can go straight down forward. My camera is not in the right position. Why is that rubbish again? Oh, my microphone's in shot. I think I've decided, if I'm totally honest, to go stupidly overboard on this. I think I'm going to get a digital SLR. Partly, if I'm honest, because I quite fancy, you know, just having one. But also then that'll allow me to film higher quality video, because I have this thing, and I hate using what are official medical terms and, you know, for what are debilitating conditions and these sorts of things, but I tend to get a bit... I go through periods where I'm absolutely like bursting with ideas. I think it's more... I mean, they used to call it manic depression, but they call it bipolar now, where people have, you know... Oh, that go underneath, it did. You know, they have sort of episodes where they're just like bursting with ideas and creativity. Ah, we are run out of concrete, you see. We can jump off there, can't we? Yeah. I don't think mine's that. I'm not pretending to have ADHD. Sorry, I'm not pretending to have bipolar. But I do wonder if I'm not a bit ADHD. Is that limestone? It is. I can't fit it in there. Can I put it in here? No. I could put that on standby for a little bit. I seem to have managed to get more. I was trying to put it away and I've got more. Anyway, so you've still got biomass. You must have gone through the wood. Oh, it's full. So there's only 4 left, so we'll just do them. We'll then switch that out to levs, not levs. Oh, can I not do... Oh, all right, we'll just stick biofuel on. Yeah, that's all it'll hold. I thought you could do the... I thought you could process them into biofuel as well. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Right, so, yes, so that'll make the old biofuel, which is more efficient to run. We'll leave it going for now. It's still got loads left. Any more? Quite like to have 200. Yeah, near enough. Yeah, so I won't fill out, you know, the walls and stuff. You know, we'll just do the floor so that we can put in smelters. And like the basic production. So for the moment, I just want to fill out as much floor as I can. Yeah, I don't mind doglegging over there or, you know, kind of weird shaped factory or anything like that. It's fine. But yes, I get periods where I'm like full of ideas, but just like not very structured. And they always seem to coincide. And it may be a, like a reason for it, but they always seem to coincide with busy periods of work. And so I end up sort of feeling tired. Oh, might need another one of these then, because it's not processing it very fast. So maybe, how much power spare have we got? Production. Oh, of course I switched this one off, and this is quite hungry, isn't it? I didn't really need a level 2 miner, I guess. If I chuck that stuff in there and then turn you on, actually, if I... Can I fit a splitter in there? Probably not. No, it won't let me put that in there. Oh, that's annoying. I mean, I can just move this over a bit. So, we want splitter. How close do I think we can get this? There, maybe? Yeah. And then we want structure. All the way around. Aligned, please. What are you aligning on? There you go. And then we want up there. And I want another one of them. Oh. Is that lined up? Yeah, okay. And around to there. This one wants to be concrete. This one wants to be concrete. We're going to need a power pole. We're going to need a connection for the power pole. Oh. We're going to need more connections to power poles. What? Oh. What the heck? I thought you couldn't even connect machines to machines. Are you both doing concrete? Power demand is... yeah, 24, that's fine. We need a merger. Ooh. That's not going to fit, is it? Cheeky little so-and-so. Because we need a bit more room. Cheeky little so-and-so. To there. Oh. To there. Container. Trees are in the way, so let's just plop it. Let's just plop it here. And belt that around. Like so. Cool. And then we want that concrete. There we go, that's a bit more like it. How's this biofuel doing? Oh, it's used up all the biomass. So let's put that in. Let's take that out. Let's take that out. Let's put that in. Let's check that's still full. Sort. Cool. Right, so that should chunk through a bit quicker. So that we can actually finish. Whoops. Finish, whoops. Putting this down. Right. And I'm out of concrete again. Okay. Let's go get some concrete then. If you insist. How are we doing on time? It's 4 o'clock. Okay. 53. It's not very many. Okay. I've got some in the exploder as well, I think, actually. I'll go and grab that. I call it exploder because back in the day, and they're already out, back in the day, we always used to call Windows Explorer Windows Exploder because Windows never used to be that reliable. So it used to amuse us at my old place of work to call it Windows Exploder. And I say I call it that. Almost as a sort of reminiscence, if you will. So we can pop this in and see if it's made us some more in the meantime. Wait, how big does it stack? Is it 500? I thought it was only 200. Oh, I don't mind. Just need to have more than I thought we would get. Don't mind me, I'm just turning your entire planet into a factory. Right, so let's have a look. Yeah, it's got 50 already, so it's chunking away quicker now. Let's have a quick look and make sure we got biofuel, biomass, biofuel, sort. Cool. So I'll have to get some more, trees and stuff, but that's fine. Right, so the question, in fact, actually, let's go and stick down the miners and do all that side of it. So it's these, isn't it? So I need more of these. I need like 10. Let's make 8 in case I'm wrong with that. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because I think there's 4 over here. Are there? 1, 2. Yeah, 4. And then there's 2 in the other place. But yeah, I'm sort of full of ideas for videos, and like YouTube videos. I'm quite keen to actually start. I've been trying to learn, and I'll put this is very much in quotes, but I've been trying to learn how to edit like with Adobe Premiere, because all my videos used to be edited in Adobe Elements, which wasn't very. It doesn't have a lot of features. Elements. But it has certain things that I'm a bit puzzled. I have been a bit puzzled. Is that going to fit past? That'll fit past, won't it? Yeah, a bit sort of puzzled that they're not easier to do in Premiere, in particular wipes and transitions. And I think it's just because I don't understand it, but it's like they've designed a completely different. It's called Elements, Photoshop Element. Well, I got both actually, but it's called Premiere Elements, which implies that it's elements of main Premiere. But it doesn't seem to quite work that way, in the sense that it's more like it's a completely different application with different capabilities. I mean, it isn't, but it is, if you see what I mean. I say it's a little difficult to explain. I'm saying wipes is a good example where you can do them really easily in Elements, but doing them in Premiere seems to be incredibly tortuous. And I think it's just because I don't know how to do them, but it's nothing like doing them in the other program, if you make sense. It's like if you had if you were using Word and you use cut and paste, and they work in a particular way, and particularly the say shortcut keys. In fact, that's a good example. So you use the Control X, Control C shortcut keys to cut and paste in Word. But then it's like, and obviously another program, another application might use something else, and that's fine because it's a different application by a different company. But you wouldn't then expect them to produce Word Elements, a miniature version of Word, and cut uses, Control T, and paste uses, I don't know, Control J or something. The whole point is it's a cut down version of your main program. So why would you, use have a completely different way of doing things for functionality that, is there, but I say it's not done in the same way. So it's like it's two different applications that just sort of happen to be called, similar things and have been developed by the same company. It's bizarre. So I actually want that. I'm going to plop a power pole sort of here, for connecting these up, but that's obviously needs to be connected to something, but there's no real power over here, so there's no point fiddling about with power. Because one of the other things that I have unlocked, I think, somewhere, or maybe it's in the hub, is some more interesting power stuff. It might still be in the hub. Yeah, I think it's in the hub, isn't it? Because there's like actual connectors for your walls, basically. So I don't have to do this bizarre thing I'm doing with power poles, like along the edge of the structure. Anyway, point here is we need somewhere to bring the material from these in that makes sense. So we've got 4 lanes there, in theory. And then how many are over here? Is it 2 or 3? 2. 2. Okay. Oops. So if I grab these 2. Yes, the point basically, so I'm thinking of going nuts and buying a digital SLR camera. Like a proper one in a sense, a proper digital camera, rather than the rubbish webcams and stuff I've been using. But it's going to mean buying lenses, and we can get integrated ones, but buying lenses and stuff, like mounts and stuff as well, probably some proper lights, so that I can sort of make some, higher quality videos. Because one of the things I've been learning about YouTube, looking at it analytically, and also watching a few sort of videos, is that, well, one of them said it in particular, it's not really a level playing field, YouTube. Twitch, I think, is much more of a level playing field in that your equipment doesn't really matter, and you can get on, even if you've not got a camera, you can kind of get an audience and some people will watch. Although this very series is a bit of a disproof of that, because nobody watches this. Well, I don't mind. But my Factorio series, I think a lot of this series not being there is because I'm a nobody in this sphere. And I am new to it. Plus, I've streamed it at the wrong time for the type of game. But anyway, but YouTube's not really a level playing field. They go on a lot about, oh, you don't need this sort of camera. You can do it on your mobile and all this sort of stuff. And that's sort of true, but also complete rubbish. You're never going to be viewed in the same way. You know, if you're... I'm actually wondering whether I shouldn't bring it up through the middle. That might be kind of funky. Or, you know, I could bring it in at the end here. That would probably make most sense, wouldn't it? Because I'm thinking I try and do what I did before, which is like have the stuff coming in one end, goes process through, goes up, process through, goes up, process through, goes, you know, goes to a train station. Yeah, let's try and do that, which means I'm going to need 6 entry points for all. Right, so if I leave a little gap, there we go. I could maybe bring them in higher up. Let's have a look at what... How many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oops. 8. So I've got 1, 2. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's going to give a bit of room, isn't it? What options have I got for bringing the... Oh, actually, you can put 3 in at one thingy. Huh. That's interesting. I mean, I got 6 things coming in. So it might make most sense. Because what I'm thinking, basically, is we put industrial storage, you know, sort of here. Lots of nice space. 2's quite nice, isn't it? Like that. And then basically I punch a hole there because I want to be able to walk through. That's a mistake I made on the other one. And then they've not got any vertical slots, have they? No. It's always side by side. Okay. But I can basically take one of those in to the top and one into the bottom. Because these attach, you see. This is a really nice thing about these. And this, I can have doing that, but what I can probably do is put one of these in to keep it as high as I can, as long as I can. I just need to make sure that angle works. There we go. Okay, so the question here is how much room do I need? And I think that might not be enough. Because what I'm thinking is I go, where's my smelter? There's a smelter. Because do the same thing I did before, basically, which we have enough smelters to eat all of that. Let's leave a little bit of a gap to there, say. Eat all the ore. The ore comes out here and is merged along that lane. And then we can stick it in some chests at the end here. And we have 2 lanes. You know, I do stacked splitters here, basically. you know, there. So 7 splitters or 6? No, splitter. So it comes in there. Like that. But I've got one on top as well, which has turned itself round because of course it has. Like that. You see that top one can go in now. In fact, I might. Would that connect? If I did that to there. No, it's too sharp. Because that'll connect. But basically when that runs out, that bottom one, you know, that bottom line runs out, we can then bring that one down basically and start using that material. Or I can do a merger and, you know, something along those lines to restock it sort of thing or something like that. Yeah, okay. Might be a little tricky to plumb it all in. Question really is how many. Basically, and then this is on. So there's one on this side as well. All right. Got that gap there. That gap there. Why do you look like you're closer? Is that because that is closer? Yeah, that should be there, shouldn't it, really? I say, I'm not sure how many I need. That's a bit tidier. And then we have... I'm not sure why this is being so crunchy, but there you go. Mergers here. I mean, you don't actually need one on the first one, but you know, we have a merger there. Like that. And one on that side as well. So we don't really need them on the first one, but let me see the size of it. So that's 2 lanes of iron, basically. So actually this needs to be wider, doesn't it? If I've got 6 lanes coming in, how much are these theoretically going to produce? Oh, it's only 60. Oh, have I marked 2? Oh, right. Okay, 60. Because this bell does 270. Huh. Or is that the reflection of it being the fact that it's a impure resource? Maybe that it does it works it out automatically, the change. Because this is impure as well, and that's 60. This is impure. Impure. Whoops. And that's 60. What about the other one then? Let's go and have a look at that. Because these other two are normal, aren't they? Are they impure as well? That's impure. And that's impure. And they're both 60. What about... It's not that far away. There's one over here. Let's go and have a look at them ones and see if they're... I was expecting it to be 120. But impure is the lowest level. So where's this? Oops! Nearly walked straight up a cliff there. Where's the... There we go. That's a bit better. You have remarkable knees in most games. Oh, there's some stuff here as well with a beastie. Hello. You alright? No? carapace. So I've not marked this, have I? No. So I didn't manage to do the limestone or any of that stuff between streams. So 300. I have coloured a lot of things in yellow. Limestone. Okay. Oh, I've obviously got caps lock on. No need. Oh, still got caps lock on. No need to shout. There we go. Yes, so there's iron here. What is this? Normal. So that's normal. And that's normal. And this is normal. So, if that was dumb, wasn't it? I should have picked one of them up. So if we do one of them, is that right? I build 2 of these. And then we say knock this one off. And we build a minute there. What do you produce? 120. Ah. Ah. Okay. Right. So. Oh, are you lot still there? What are you guarding? Oh, cracking. Maybe jump then. You made me jump then, lad. Is there something here then? Because they sort of stood in this area. Got something here? Regarding a tree? Maybe it's got a slug on it somewhere or something. Can't see anything there. Don't know why they're there. Unless they're guarding this iron patch. And they're just badly placed. Right, so if these are only 60 each, then that's only 2 of them is only 1 medium belt. And 3 of them is not even a full high level belt, is it? Because it's 60, so it's one of those belts basically, and then 2 of them for one of those, and like more than 4 of them for one of those. How much does this actually consume? Let's have a look at that. That's probably a better place to think about it. So if this is processing iron plate or making iron ingots, it's using 30. So just one of these machines on this impure, but you know, I could overclock it and all that sort of stuff, but I don't really want to mess about with all that. So one of those only feeds 2 smelters. Crikey. It makes a huge difference, doesn't it? I didn't think it was... I didn't notice. Maybe all my other ones are normal or something. So yeah, both of those is 120. So we could feed that in one of them. 120. 180. 240. 300. 360. which 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, 210, 240, 270, 300, 330, 360. So we could feed like 12 smelters. Because each is, another way of doing it is each is 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 12 smelters. So it's not a lot, you see. If that, because that's basically, that can handle that. So what I really need to do, 60, 120. If I can bring all of these together into a single level 5 belt, that can handle that. And then all of those, both of those together into a level 2 belt, feed that all into that one container. It'll need to come out on two belts, like I was doing. And then we just have 12 smelters, which is just 6 on either side, you see. It's not a lot. Yeah, okay. I was not expecting it to be quite so small in terms of production. But then I guess I'm looking at it from a point of view of, let's get the car out of the way. You know, my other factory, which is using loads more stuff, basically. Okay, let's just stop talking and actually on with it then. So we want a merger here somewhere. Probably, maybe if we do one there on the edge. And then all this needs to be is level 1 belt because it's all pretty wimpy. And then we'll take this sort of over here. And then level 1 is 60, isn't it? So it'll need to be level 2 out of there. And then basically if we have another merger maybe here. Done the wrong button again. Merger, there we go. Like this, maybe here. Well, I want it pointing that way, really. And then we want level 2. Why are you not connecting? Connect there, please. Onto here. And then this is just level 1. To say here. To there. And then this is level 1 to there. And now this is level 3. I have no problem with spaghetting it, but I'm thinking about raising it at the very least. So it's easier, it doesn't get in my way. So it's a bit of a mistake I've made. My original factory. I don't need to be double height or anything, but let's maybe take it over. Is that going to be too far? Possibly. We'll give it a go. Right, so I'll connect that to there. No, that to there. This to here. And then we want something underneath here. Does it? I don't know if it, when you do with the lifters, does it do it in the direction? No, that is the input. Okay. I guess it always lifts. I guess that's what. Do you even lift? That's kind of how it behaves, maybe? Is that a bit low? No, that's fine. But we want only a level 2 lifter. Do you even lift? Right, so we want this maybe up a little. So we can feed these 2 in. And actually this probably does want rotating round. Like so. And like so. That's where this is a bit tedious with the old deconstructing and stuff. Right, so we want a merger, which is that one. No, it's that one. Put it sort of, I don't know, aim it over there maybe and put it there. And then we want level 1. So maybe there, and there. And then, do I mind that being... Oh, wrong one. Must be that. Is that going to be high enough? Let's put in a sort of a razor. I'm just worried about the head clearance, having spent all this time putting this set of stairs in. I don't want to block it. Right, and then we can connect this power pole up. This is one of the advantages of using these power poles as markers. There's a power pole nice and nearby. Right, and I guess if I put one sort of here or something. No, I'll leave that one because obviously, so there isn't the power to run anything yet. Can I run under there? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so that comes in there. So we need to hook this up, basically. So now we do need good old level 3 belt. Going through there. Well, yeah. Can I connect this up? I can. If I take that out, can I run underneath? Yes-ish. Yeah, okay. Again, so I'm kind of keen to avoid the sort of issues I had with making it so I couldn't walk anywhere. And if it lets me do a cheaty floaty structure, let's do a cheaty floaty structure. So we know it's 12 of these. So that's 2, 3. That didn't look like it was. Correctly aligned. 3, 4, 5, 6. Plot these in. I don't know if my machine is just having a general bit of a cry, but it's very crunchy. And I don't know if that, I say, is my machine just generally not being very happy. Or what, really? Because notice the bit rate was going a bit nuts as well. So, we've missed one, or I've missed one. Which is that one. I'll take this out. So I don't know if this is a general game performance thing or perhaps my machine's being a bit hot. The bit rate is absolutely all over the place. It's going up to 10 and down to 4 and But yeah, so if this is pumping out 270 in theory, then it can support 30, 60, 90. There you go, you see. I have a feeling it might be the game itself. Maybe you should look at turning some graphical settings down. Because CPU is fine. CPU is only about 10%. I mean, I can't believe I've reached a size of production that makes it struggle. That can't be right. So we got 60. Oh no, there were 30 each, these, aren't they? So it's 30. Oh, Control V, okay. Oh. I don't know what happened then. So 30, 60, oops, 90, 120, 150, 180, 210, 240, 'cause 270 does match up perfectly with a certain number of machines, but it's an odd number of machines, isn't it? It's not both sides like I've got. So really, we should probably switch to the other one. So we got 30, well, 60. Second row is 120, 180, 240. So it's this point here we need to switch. So this needs to be coming in from here. Won't let me do it. Won't let me do it. Does that make sense? That's not even an output. What's happened there? Is it? What? Oh, this is the wrong... It's that one that's wrong. Ah, so it turned them round again. Oh, it has, look. Why you do that? Because you can't do it. You can't build them underneath each other. It doesn't like, even though it lets you make them float, you can't build them underneath. Right. Okay. So I've got to put all of them back in. Right, so they're now the right orientation, but how many have we got? So we've got 60, 90, 120, 180. What? 60, 90, 120, 180. So I do need one more. Like that. 210. Okay. $60. So each one is a pair. No, each one is... Yeah, each one is a pair. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah. So that's 1 minor, 2 minors, 3 minors, 4 minors, 5 minors. Which is too much, isn't it? Maths is defeating me. So 60, 120, 180, 210, 270. So it is a correct number. 60, 120. No. 60, 120, 180, 240, and then it would be one more, but we don't want that. Right. So this one here has to be the first one fed by the new set. However, we are missing these because it decided to turn them round, because that's how helpful the game likes to be. Again, so this one's backwards, for example. Are you backwards? You're backwards. Of course you're backwards. You wouldn't want any of them to be as intended. See, it's flipped that one round. And that one. That one's fine though. It's happy with that one. But this is the first one that is from the top row. Okay. So get rid of that because they're irrelevant anyway. We can then see if we can get this to feed across to there. I suspect not. So we want level 5. Yeah, so that's too much of an angle. How am I going to do that then? I mean, I could just have a gap. I mean, that would help me as well. So essentially, we just have a gap. It gives me a bit of room to play with as well. So that way round, like that. There, there, and then we don't actually need the third one. Don't need these ones here. So this comes down into here. There we go. In fact, I don't need that to be level 3, do I? Because we're not going to get that amount of material. Right. Oh dear. Because this just gives me a bit of run along room, basically. Let's check again. So we got 60. Whoops. I could have moved it over, couldn't I? Since it's only one thing. But I'm wondering, since it's so unproductive, maybe I want to run those 2 other iron round here anyway. So that, and stick them in, because those 2 are producing as much iron as all of these. Right, yes, so how many can we support? It's only 4 more, isn't it? Why are you not? There we go. No? No? Like that. And then pop this in. Like this. And then we want level. Can I get on top? Oh, crikey. It's not happy somewhere. Right, and then we want that certainly. Oh, don't tell me that's the wrong way round. It is. Oh, that's the wrong way around as well, isn't it? Yeah, because the orange is the input. That one's right then. Okay. Okay. Right, let's try all this again. That. Right, we want a splitter, and we want it the right way around. Well, we don't care on that one. We want it the right way around there, and the right way around there. And then we want to hook level Is that connect? That's going the wrong way, isn't it? Oh, crikey. I don't even know what happened there. Right, so we want level 2 on the top, level 3 on the bottom, level 1 out of the side. Why have you not? Okay. Okay. And then we want to recreate this. Don't really care about that first one. That one needs to be that way round. Right. So we want that to there. We want that to there. Got that one. Level 1. Level 1. Good lord. Level 1, level 1. No, we need belt there. That's where that ends. That becomes that. This moves over. Those are all connected. Good lord. So, next thing we can do is attach power. So it's very, very crunchy in terms of performance. You know, it's very, very stuttery, and I don't know if that's me, in the sense of my computer. If I put power poles here, I should really be using the next level up power poles, because they have more connections. Assuming that just dropped, basically paused. Which side am I actually putting it on? I'm putting it on the right side, aren't I? So we can go here, and here, here, here. Right, let's connect everything up in readiness. So I want to go to there. Oh, gold. There's a lot of wildlife noise here, and it's getting on my tits. Right, so that's them connected. The level 2s do 6 connections, so I could avoid quite a lot of this, but I don't really have a sort of reliable Caterium production. And then might as well hook these two up, I guess. So all I need to do is feed power into sort of one of them. They've all got a spare connection. Okay. Next then is this. I could always have a wall here, couldn't I? A floor rather here. Give me a bit more room. How are we doing with time? So it's 4:45. So only quarter of an hour of the stream left. I mean, you see, in theory, if I bring some of that stuff over, because that was it 2 nodes or 3? Because we've got iron here as well, you see. nice and close. I'm not sure these aren't pure. Or certainly there's a lot of them. It's because it's difficult, because there's, because I'm pretty sure there's poison gas in around here. So we would need to blow up these blooming things to sort them out. Because what I could do is I could run the iron from both of these along here and plug it in here. And what that would mean is that I could combine it with this, so that, and then have two, you know, level 3 producers here, which would allow me to support. So I've got 4 rows there and 4 rows here, and obviously it's, you know, it's sort of allowing for a bit of leeway either way in terms of the belts. But you know, we could in theory have 2 more here. Those are the wrong way around, aren't they? But never mind. 2 more here, and then we've still got plenty of room, you know, to bring it all together and stick it in a container here. And then I can double it up. So how many has this taken? So I've got a runway potentially lane here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and it'll be 5. You know, blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we could have another row here, which isn't too much of a problem as a bit of a, you know, walk pathway, and where I can connect tubes and all that sort of stuff. And we can put the actual stairs here, corner stairs. So I'm a bit loath to actually block this off for the time being, because I want to go up and put the screws in, and I can leave the, you know, I can leave enough room for those extra 2. But say we could have a second row here, depending on how much iron we get out. We could have more of these, double this up basically. Cool. Okay, so let's head back to the main base, and hopefully we have produced enough computers. How much fuel we got? If I just hop out and stick that in. No, wrong way. Cool. So I think you get the basic idea there, hopefully. And I will certainly finish off that. Boop. I will finish off the factory itself, put all the floors in between streams. I'm getting a bit fatigued with Factorio, if I'm totally 100% honest. The grind, I'm enjoying the new bits, you know, designing the science, and that, but the whole grinding out outposts, and it's a reflection of, you know, it's a big lesson learned that it's not the most, if you're going, I think if I'd chosen a smaller science production size, then that would have been okay. Because I say this is the idea is I'll bring the train along this coast basically. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, I've come down too early. This is not where I'm supposed to be. I have to be a bit careful here, because if the exploder, I've come down to the wrong bit of beach basically. Don't want to put the exploder in the water, because they don't like the water. Where am I meant to be going then? Do you see what I mean? It's getting really, really crunchy with performance, and I don't know if that's some one-off today or which way am I going? Oh, I'm down on the wrong... It should be over here somewhere. Okay. It's getting really, really stuttery, so I don't know if that's just because I've reached kind of the point where maybe my machine can't handle it anymore, but we've not really built that big a factory. I say the CPU is just ticking along on warm-up. So maybe it's a graphical thing? Unless it's because I put all of those beacons on. Maybe they're horrendous for performance. Unless I exploit things, I guess I can pull up the beacons, and if that is an issue. But I might have to do some investigating. I don't mind turning the graphics down. I'm fine with that. It's okay, but it has a horrendous draw distance. Yeah, there you go. Oh, well, that's the autosave. But draw distance is like a foot. But I think it's because it's struggling to stream things in. Yeah, I don't mind turning the graphics down. You know, it's early access. It's not necessarily optimized, but it did amuse me the other day. They were saying that they're happy with certain bits of the map, and like there's loads of floating trees and stuff. Well, like the blooming, well, I think I went and picked it, didn't it? That mushroom that floats somewhere around here. I'm not sure I would be happy with that. Right, so in theory, we now have, hopefully, fingers crossed, enough computers to excuse me. We have enough computer tutors to do the research. Computer tutors are up the top here. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Yes. I got enough, I think, for making a few trains as well. So that'll let me experiment with that. In terms of what I do between stream, let's say I'm getting a bit fatigued, I guess, with Factorio. So I still need to grind out loads of outposts. And I say it's a reflection of the outposty way of doing it is not good when you're doing the really, really big scale. Well, the 5,000 plus science that I'm trying to do, because it means loads and loads of outposts, way more than I was anticipating, and the outposts I'm making are really resource intensive, and so it would have been better for me just to keep sort of like expanding the base and exploiting the local resources, and just putting up with the fact that they would run out relatively quickly. Particularly now, what it could have been is they got all the science made using just the nearby, like the science builds made using all the internal stuff, and just sort of set everything up, and then just added outposts, you know, to bring material in as I needed, and just extended my walls. But that would have, you know, the design I've done with the walls and stuff doesn't really suit that, etc., etc. So yeah, so it's all a big lesson learned, but so it's getting a bit tedious putting in, because what I realised is I've actually disconnected all the stuff. I'm talking about this ahead of tomorrow's stream, but I've connected like purple science to a load of iron outposts, so that's good, but the blue and the grey science don't have any access to copper and iron because of how I've done the particular branch. So I'm going to have to set up at least a dozen more outposts to feed them, and then I need all the outposts to feed gold science, and that'll need loads of iron as well, and copper. So yeah, so I'm going to need to build like another 20 outposts, I think, just for purple and gold to get white science, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. I have got some holiday coming up, so I might be able to grind it out all day. Right, so yes, this is the last research in this particular hub, and it will give me oil power, basically. So let's launch this.
Milestone reached. The fuel generator will match power generation to the increased consumption of recently acquired technologies and buildings. Additionally, improved conveyor belts and lifts can now be constructed. Caterium scanning unlocked.
Oh, so have I got a load of new belts as well? So the fuel generator consumes fuel to generate electricity for the power grid. So this is what I want, basically, because it gives me more power. So that gives 150 megawatts. So it's double the power for each generator. Obviously, it's more, it's quite a heavy resource. Oh, why has it got a blooming computer in it? That's not very fair, game. But, it produces a lot more power from the fuel, and fuel is something I can produce as a byproduct of all the oil production, which is good because, as I say, that's sort of a limiting factor, that I've got nothing to do with some of the stuff that's left over, which is why I couldn't really expand the oil production. But also, it mentioned extra things, didn't it? Oh, right, so I've got lift 4. Wow, so that's 480 per minute. Wow, okay. Oh, and that's made from encased beams. Okay. I was wondering why nothing was using them. So have we got anything else? Has it given me anything else? Not by the looks of things. This is the jelly landing pad that I'm thinking of putting at the bottom of each of those stairs, so that when I fall down the gap. Okay. So it's only really given me a couple of things. But most importantly is this fuel generator, because it's double the amount of power from coal, from a resource that I need to get rid of waste fuel from, basically. Excellent. So that'll let me bump up power production and take that over there. So we should now be able to make trains. So they're 5 each. I have no idea whether it lets you do double-ended, single-ended, or anything like that. We see each one 225 to 110 megawatts of power, so the power's going to ramp up quite a bit. Freight car, and the train station, which also has 50 megawatts of power, and those are 50 each. Cool. So say I will experiment with them. Hopefully between streams, so that at least, even if I then tear it down, I'll at least hopefully know how to use it. I say, I believe power can be transported along the actual railway. Don't fancy running power lines all the way over there if not. Right, yes, so that's basically it for this stream. I can't do any more milestones, because in order to do more milestones, I need to do the next hub tier, the next elevator. In fact, have I got 2 elevators left? All right, I've got 1 elevator, which gives me 2 more tiers. Okay, let's have a look. And I'm not producing anything. Well, I've produced 1 because I was producing it already. This is what I'm trying to avoid, the fact that everything's in the way. So these ones, and I can feed these into, I have no use for these. Maybe they're massively important later on, but I can feed them into the awesome shop. But yeah, so the other thing I need to set up is the modular engines and the adaptive control units. And adaptive control units have both processors and computers, which is expensive. I'm already making I've got production for I can't remember what the hell that is, the smart loom, is it? And I've got, in theory, heavy modular frames, and this is rubber, which is so we can't not really produce any volume. We've got production for the smart plates. That's all set up, but not really running, and motors. So we're kind of making everything we've got need to make them, but at really small scale. Now, luckily, we only need 100 of them and 500 of them. It's not like them where we needed 2,500. But yeah, so we could probably get away with a small scale. But I say I'm particularly interested to bring like screws in, so that I can make much more of everything I need. Because like the heavy mod, it's a shame you can't. I suppose it's in the. Which is the? It's not tab, is it? Not map. X. Here we go. So, because heavy modular frames, everything's limited by screws. Basically, that's why I'm making a screw factory. Because obviously, and you know, if we bring in rods as well, that's not necessarily a bad thing. But the reinforced iron plate are 12 screws each, and that's the modular frame. The heavy modular frame then requires 100 screws. And so that's the big limiting thing. So if I can make screws and rods, maybe, at the other place, then the production I'm using for screws here, I can pretty much repurpose into, you know, other things, possibly steel for encased beams, or you know, more stators and motors or something. Oh no, that's steel again. So yeah, we can potentially repurpose that production that we've already got, depending on if I can get it to really process. But yeah, this is the one I need to switch to using this, so that I can, because that polymer resin, plastic, there you go, I can use instead with water to make both plastic and rubber. Yeah. So switch over to polymer resin as the production system, and the fuel I can then just burn, and we can make that into lots of lovely electricity. Yeah, so that's it for this stream. If you have been watching, it will have been on VODs, because nobody joined me today, which is fine. That's kind of how all of these streams have been. It's been a real rare treat for someone to pop along, but that's fine. I confess I am surprised that how can I put it? More people who play Factorio aren't interested in this game. It's fascinating to me that, but because for me personally, I like more variety. But I know Nilas was saying in his most recent like monthly update, he gets if he does any kind of other game, he gets loads of comments saying play Factorio, which is kind of disappointing, really. Anyway, that's a weird diversion. Yes, so that's it for this stream. I say I will do some work, because I'm getting a bit bored of Factorio, so that may not be something I play too much until I'm on holiday. So we'll do some work on the other factory and get that all kind of structurally built. Even if I pop down the actual production buildings next time, I will also play with trains and work out how that works, so that I can hook. I say I probably won't actually do it. I'll do a test thing, and then I'll be ready to do it next time. Yeah, so I say if you have been watching, thanks for doing so. Presumably you're on YouTube if you are watching this and you've got this far. So there should be a playlist for the series if you're just watching this one for the first time. I'm not sure where it is. It'll be over there somewhere, and so you can catch up that way. Yeah, so I say if you have been watching, thanks for doing so, and I'll maybe catch you in another one. Cheers. I may also try and work out why the hell my computer is struggling so much, but that's a mystery to me, that one. Anyway, see you later.